And Allah Azza wa Jal tells him that there may be among you people that the family is so extreme that they might even be enemies for you. That extreme. I mean, you don't use this ayah and go home and say, now I know what you are to me. إِنَّ مِنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ وَأَوْلَادِكُمْ عَدُوًّا لَكُمْ. No, it's not. This is an extreme case. These are extreme cases. The word adu is not used lightly in the Quran. Okay, but this is the extreme case. Fine, an extreme case can exist. An extreme case where your own spouse and your own children, according to Allah, are what? An enemy. What do you do in the extreme case? Well, what you do from the pop psychology perspective, the Instagram psychologist can tell you, what you do in such extreme cases is you draw some boundaries and you walk away and you heal yourself and you declare them abusers and all this stuff. And what does the Quran say? وَإِن تَعْفُوا وَتَصْفَحُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Okay, and if you can forgive, if you can overlook, you can cover their mistakes. Okay, at one point they became really aggressive, but now they're really sorry about that. Don't bring it up again. تَصْفَحُوا. Safaha means to turn the page, from safha. Turn the page. You know what that means? I remember what you did last year. You remember? I still remember those words. Do you remember what you said? That's not tasfahu. I'm still traumatized about that. Let me repeat it again as if it happened right. I didn't say it again. No, but it still hurts me though. I'm still traumatized. Therefore I need to do dhikr of that all the time. I need to give you a khutbah about that all the time. Allah says if you can just turn the page, then Allah is forgiving too. Maybe things will reconcile. Even in the worst case, there's room for reconciliation. There's room to make things better. But if the hearts are not, if you're too absorbed in yourself, you're not going to look for a solution. The only thing that you want to serve is your wishes. And so this is the last thing I will share with you. The direction that psychology is going in now, pop psychology, reminds me of the ayah of Surah Al-Jathiyah. أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ وَأَضَلَّهُ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ عِلْمٍ. Did you see someone who takes their feeling, their empty feeling, and they turn it into their God? Their God has become their feeling. And Allah allows this person to be misguided, even though they have knowledge. عَلَىٰ عِلْمٍ. They can know. They can be a PhD. They can be a doctor. They can be a professional. But they are being led by their emotions. And they give themselves a new diagnosis and give other people a diagnosis depending on how they make them feel. Today you're a narcissist, tomorrow you're an abuser, the next day you're a toxic person, the next day you're this, the next day you're depressed, the next day you're, you have attachment issues. You just throw out these diagnoses, label people. أَضَلَّهُ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ عِلْمٍ وَخَتَمَ عَلَىٰ سَمْعِهِ وَجَعَلَ, Allah says, and this kind of a person, Allah will put a ceiling on their hearing. You know what that means? That means it doesn't matter if you try to reason with them. You cannot reason with people who live by emotions. Many of you have experienced this. When people are living by their emotions, if you're trying to be logical, it's like talking to a wall. But I feel. The feeling is, that's the God. خَتَمَ عَلَى سَمْعِهِ وَجَعَلَ عَلَى قَلْبِهِ غِشَاوَةً. And Allah places a cover over their hearts. وَمَن يَهْدِيهِم مِّن بَعْدِ اللَّهِ. Who's going to guide them after Allah? That ayah, that last part of that ayah, who will guide them after Allah? You know what that means? They replaced Allah with their own feelings. That's why there's no more guidance for them. Because their ilah is actually Allah, but their ilah became their hawa. So Allah says, فَمَن يَهْدِيهِم مِّن بَعْدِ اللَّهِ. Who's going to guide them after Allah? After they remove Allah from their hearts, what guidance can they have? On the flip side, contemplate Surah Al-Taghabun. When a person experiences difficulty and trauma and actual difficulty in their life, whoever turns back to Allah in faith, يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ, Allah will guide that person's heart. وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Allah knows everything. There's nothing Allah doesn't know.
Free Quran education relies on you. A $10 monthly donation keeps our Islamic content afloat and free for anyone, anywhere, for years to come.